Good morning, Cougars. My name is Imani.
And I'm Dulsmar. We hope you have a great day.
And please stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do I celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month? If eating tons of food with my family counts, then yes, very much so.
I absolutely celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. It's amazing. We talk, we share love, and we eat.
My dad's the Mexican side. My mom is actually British. It was really cool to have a mom who wasn't from the culture, who embraced the culture so much. Thanks, Mom. Love you.
I'm a Jewish, Cuban, Panamanian, Spaniard, Hispanic, Latin, everything, all mixed together.
It was beautiful to see, and it taught me at a very young age to embrace all cultures, to really keep an open eye.
My Israeli grandma ended up learning a lot of the Hispanic dishes and how to make them, like your mom also, embracing the culture.
Anything that you do, you gotta have corazón.
If there was a recipe for my success,
The main ingredients would be honesty,
be yourself,
courage,
#1 ingredient.
love.
We make everything con corazón.
It's always nice to eat with family. Look at this Disney family, right?
Celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month on Disney Channel.
Helen Rodriguez Trias was a pediatrician, educator, and human rights activist. She was the first Latina president of the American Public Health Association, a founding member of the Women's Caucus of the American Public Health Association, and the recipient of the Presidential Citizens Medal. She is credited with helping to expand the range of public health services for women and children in minority and low-income populations in the United States, Central and South America, Africa, Asia, and the Middle East. Rodriguez Trias' parents moved to New York City from Puerto Rico in the early half of the 20th century. After her birth, her family returned to Puerto Rico, only to return to New York in 1939. In New York, Rodriguez Trias experienced racism and discrimination for the sole reason that she was Puerto Rican. In school, she was placed in a class with students who were academically handicapped, even though she had good grades and knew how to speak English. After she participated in a poem recital, her teacher realized that she was a gifted child and sent her to a class with gifted children. Rodriguez Trias graduated from the University of Puerto Rico in 1957, where she became a student activist on issues such as freedom of speech and Puerto Rican independence. Later, she re-enrolled at the University of Puerto Rico to study medicine. She obtained her medical degree with the highest honors in 1960. During her residency, she established the first center for the care of newborn babies in Puerto Rico. Under her direction, the hospital's death rate for newborns decreased 50% within 3 years.
In the 1960s, Dr. Helen Rodriguez Trias grew outraged at the poor quality of pediatric health care in her native Puerto Rico. So she created the island's first center for newborn babies at the University of Puerto Rico Medical Center and cut the hospital's infant death rate in half. Ever since, in New York and California, all across America, Dr. Rodriguez Trias has been working for better patient care, for better treatment and prevention of AIDS, for women's health rights, for fighting the good fight and saving countless lives, mostly among poor people that are too often forgotten by others. I am proud to present this medal to Dr. Helen Rodriguez Trias.
Good morning, Cougars. Today is another day to be great. We'll be having lockouts daily. Some will be announced and some will be silent lockouts. Students, when the bell rings, the door swings. It is imperative that you arrive to class on time so that you don't miss any key instructions. Teachers, when the bell rings, the door swings. Students, if you are caught in a lockout, you will have a detention. If it is repetitive, you will be suspended. Please walk and talk within the hallways. And as always, go Cougars. And have a great day. Good morning, students. We will begin our ID rollout on Monday, October 10th. In order to get on campus, you must have your school-issued Congress Middle School ID. If you do not have the ID, you will be placed outside in a line. We will walk you to the media center to get you another ID. Once you receive that other ID, you will be charged $5. As stated in High Expectations Assembly, you may not have that money right then and there, but it will be charged to your account as an obligation. Students, IDs are mandatory on campus. They must be worn at all times. They are required to get on campus every day. They are required to get on the bus also when you get on in the morning and when you get on in the afternoon. If there are any questions or if you have not received your ID as of yet, please make sure you find me, Mr. Simmons, here on campus so that we can get you a school-issued ID. Thank you. Have a great day. And as always, go Cougars.
Our debate team won a complete Santa, Con, and Move Oral are the grand prize winners of 50 split between them.
Today, the Supreme Court is hearing a case that could decide the internet's future. A new threat to the internet? It all started back in 1996 when the Communications Decency Act was created to protect free speech online. But both Democrats and Republicans believe the law makes social media companies too powerful by shielding them from getting sued when users post harmful content on their platforms. The case could impact companies that don't remove content even when it violates their policies. We'll hear more now from CNN digital producer John Sarlin, who's exploring what this all means.
Mark, can you just give us a quick rundown of Section 230 and why it's relevant to these two cases?
Yeah, so Section 230 is sort of the foundational law of the internet, and it says when people post stuff on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube that might be illegal, objectionable, defamatory, those platforms can't be sued. So they're not like the New York Times, which can be sued if it publishes something defamatory. They're special, they're different. And the idea here was to ensure that 1,000 flowers could bloom on the internet, that platforms wouldn't be stymied from allowing all of this speech, and that they could moderate content as they saw fit without worrying about any kind of legal ramifications. But this was in the mid-90s when Congress did not understand the internet and very few of us foresaw what was going to happen to it. The challenges facing Section 230 today are very different.
Let's say the Supreme Court does go ahead and gut or repeal Section 230. Can we even imagine what an internet without it would look like at this point?
It's impossible to imagine because we all know that these algorithms are like the business model of social media. They rely on these algorithms to moderate a mind-boggling amount of content all the time. And what the platforms are telling the Supreme Court is, look, there's just no way that we can design a perfect algorithm that isn't going to sometimes mess up and put alarming or dangerous speech in front of eyeballs where it shouldn't be. They're saying that this is a fundamental threat to their existence, because if the Supreme Court opens up liability under these circumstances, they're going to have to either recalibrate all of their algorithms or rely on human beings to moderate every bit of content on their website, which would not be possible even if they hired an army of 1 billion content moderators. It just can't be done.